Everybody knows the symbol of Superman. If you show it to somebody, regardless of them knowing the language or anything, they will know who Superman is.
Although many can recognize the symbol, few know the story of Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel, the creators of Superman. In the 1920s, comics were just starting to develop.
Gas companies back in the 20s, they wanted to get people to come into their gas stations. So somebody had the bright idea of, hey, let's take some of these cartoons over here, put them in a little magazine and give them away when you come in and fill up your tank of gas. That caught on, and then somebody had the next bright idea of, we can sell these things. So there comes Famous Funnies and a bunch of other comics in the early 30s, then through the mid 30s, that were nothing more than, Cats and Jammer Kids and all these different cartoons that were in your Sunday and daily papers that they would just reprint in the comics.
In the 1930s, Shuster and Siegel, inspired by pulp magazines, attempted to generate their own ideas, but with limited success.
They were both working on a Superman story. And then they kind of got together when they couldn't get anybody else to do stuff for them.
Shuster and Siegel endured 5 years of rejection and continuous revisions, but finally, in 1938, they sold their property to National Allied Comics, now known as DC Comics, for $130.
It came out in Action #1.
Superman super-punched his way into mainstream media, kickstarting the golden age of comics.
Superman, that character, that really opened up the superhero genre, and then it just exploded in the 40s. Comics basically reflect what's going on in society.
During that period, when he was created, not only the United States, but the world in general was going through some pretty tough times. When they created Superman, they were trying to create a character that people could get behind. The golden age of comics really helped relieve tension, not only with children, but even with adults. Everything that was going on, it allowed them to kind of escape their hardships, and for the small amount of time that they were reading the comic, they were able to dive into that world.
While DC reaped thousands, Siegel and Shuster were getting almost nothing for their work.
The things that you create are owned by that company. They're getting all the accolades, but they aren't getting any recognition or money for the characters that they were creating. Marvel or DC owns those characters now, but you should get some credit other than just your name up there. You should get some money.
In 1947, the two sued to abolish their 1938 contract and retake ownership of their intellectual property rights to Superman. However, the court ruled against them. It wasn't until 1975, 37 years after the publication and 28 years since the initial trial, that the two were given proper compensation, including a yearly stipend, full medical benefits, and credit in future Superman comics.
Basically pioneered a whole medium, where would comics be without Superman, and without the creation of Superman. Superman was that first.